The current state of the junior market is healthy. The market cap increased for the second straight consecutive year, and we're seeing 7% increase year over year. We're seeing significant increase in capital cash flow to the junior markets. And more recently, we're seeing more M&A activities in the sector as well. And finally, we're seeing renewed confidence in anything that has anything to do with electric cars and battery power. So we're seeing a bullish outlook on cobalt and lithium, nickel, and copper. The mining industry is still the major industry in the FTSE exchange, although it decreased from 53% to 47% of the total market cap this year. Gold companies are largely represented in the top 100 group, representing 2/3 of the top 100. And since the gold companies have been holding steady, that moderated otherwise a very healthy increase in the mining sector. The top 5 companies, with the exception of one, all experienced year-over-year growth. Gold Standard Ventures at number 1 this year from number 4 last year. The jump in ranking is mainly due to the additional financing it's able to secure from Goldcorp and Oceana Gold this year. At number 2 this year is Integra Gold. It went from number 7 last year to number 2, and that's mainly due to the recent announcement of its takeover by Eldorado Gold this year. Legal is probably the most interesting. It's a newly listed company in the FTSE exchange in 2016. It has already moved up to number 3 this year, and since July, it has graduated to the main board. Looking back at last year's top 5, 2 of last year's top 5 actually graduated to the main board, and that's NextGen Energy and Rox Gold. Equity financing continues to be the main source of financing for the junior sector. It went up significantly by 175% this year. The notable equity raises this year is Cobalt 27. Cobalt 27 is now in the top 10 of the top 100 companies in the stock exchange. They had a very successful offering of $200 million in a year. We're seeing additional capital inflow into cobalt sector because cobalt is the key material for electric cars, consumer electronics, and batteries. The cash balances went up significantly, and this is the highest increase in the last 5 years. It went up by 74%, and that's largely due to additional capital inflow through equity financing and debt financing in the year. With additional cash available, companies will be able to fund the exploration and development programs and to do more M&A deals. In fact, we're seeing more cash spending this year on these programs and inorganic growth through acquisitions. The stories that stand out this year would be the M&A transactions. Eldorado Gold has recently announced its acquisition of Integra Gold for $520 million. Another notable transaction is one that was done by a non-traditional mining company, Sandstorm Gold. It's mainly a streaming company, but it has announced an acquisition of Mariana Resources for $200 million. The third notable transaction is the legal acquisition of mining assets from the senior producer, Goldcorp, for $175 million. And that's the acquisition of the Los Filos mines in Mexico. We're not fully recovered from the downturn, but we're definitely on a slow but bumpy ride to recovery. One, there's more confidence in the market. We're seeing a second consecutive year of market cap increases. Second, we're seeing capital flow into the markets with more equity and debt financing. And third, with more money, the juniors are now more able to do more transactions and to grow both organic and inorganically.